Boss Tweed was one of the most notorious political figures in American history. He rose from humble origins to become the leader of Tammany Hall, the powerful Democratic machine that dominated New York City politics in the late 19th century. He used his influence to enrich himself and his cronies at the expense of the public, until he was exposed and brought down by a coalition of reformers, journalists, and cartoonists. Tweed was born William Magyar Tweed on April 3, 1823, on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. He married Mary Jane Scott in 1844 and had 5 children. He worked as a bookkeeper and a volunteer fireman before entering politics as a city alderman in 1851. He also served 1 term in Congress from 1853 to 1855. Tweed gradually strengthened his position in Tammany Hall, the executive committee of New York City's Democratic Party organization. He became its chairman in 1860 and its grand sachem, principal leader, in 1868. He also became a state senator in 1868 and held other important positions in the city government. Tweed and his associates, known as the Tweed Ring, controlled the city's finances, contracts, patronage, and elections. They siphoned off millions of dollars from the city treasury through various schemes, such as inflated bills, fake vouchers, unnecessary repairs, and overpriced goods and services bought from suppliers controlled by the Ring. They also rigged elections by bribing voters, stuffing ballot boxes, and intimidating opponents. Tweed's corruption was exposed by a series of articles in the New York Times and by the cartoons of Thomas Nast in Harper's Weekly. Nast's caricatures depicted Tweed as a bloated, greedy, and arrogant figure who symbolized the abuse of power. Tweed famously said, "I don't care a straw for your newspaper articles, my constituents don't know how to read, but they can't help seeing them damned pictures." Tweed was arrested in 1871 and tried on charges of fraud and larceny. He was convicted in 1873 and sentenced to 12 years in prison. He appealed his conviction and was released on bail, but he was soon arrested again on civil charges brought by the city to recover some of the stolen money. He escaped from custody in 1875 and fled to Cuba and then to Spain, where he was recognized by one of Nast's cartoons and extradited back to New York. Tweed died in prison on April 12, 1878, at the age of 55. He was buried in Brooklyn's Greenwood Cemetery. His legacy is that of a symbol of political corruption and urban machine politics, but also of a charismatic and colorful leader who shaped the development of New York City in his era.